Have you ever seen the lines like this on the charts? Something like this, something like this. I'm sure you have seen this type of analysis on the YouTube, as I've also seen this type of charts on the YouTube, and I have no idea how the analyst can do their analysis on this type of charts. It's way too overwhelming for my eyes. It's way confusing for me, and I'm sure it's confusing for the traders who are watching. I'm sure they have their own idea about that. But for me, I want to keep it as simple as possible by having only two zones on my charts, or maybe one extra zone which is a minor zone, something like this. Like that, you have your two zones there, one major zone above and one major level of zone below, and maybe have one zone in between which is your minor zone. So try to keep it as simple as possible, as less confusing as possible. Not only it will increase the accuracy of your analysis, but it will become less confusing for your eyes and for your trading analysis. So that is why I always do my analysis as simple as possible, as trading is not really complicated if you do it in a simplest way. And as you guys have seen the results, I've been trading from last 10 months, and I can say that results are 80 to 90% accurate if you have been following me from last 10 months or so. So with that being said, keep your zones simple and keep your analysis simple. What to expect from a priority group. So before you join the group, I want you guys to know that it is not a signal group. There are tons of signal groups in the market who send you 10 signals, 12 signals per day, as they do not care about your money. They just want to send as many as signals possible. Traders are just following them blindly without even knowing who is behind this signal service. So it is really important you know what is going behind the signal, the trades we are taking. Is it making sense or not? So let me tell you one story about a signal provider. So I remember my friend came to me one day and he was trading as normal every day, and he was following a signal provider. He sent him one signal and my friend was showing me all his profits. And I said, yeah, that's cool. And at that time he got another signal, and I still remember it was a sell signal. I went to my charts and I just looked the market, and I said to my friend, the market looks bullish to me, and I don't know how this guy sent you a sell signal and it's a clear bullish signals. The way I do my technical analysis, so I just told him that this is a wrong signal and I don't believe that it should be a sell at this point. And then he said, no, this guy is really good and this and that, blah blah. And he placed his trade, and he's like placed insane amount of money on that single trade. And then after a couple of hours, he said, oh man, I'm in big loss. I don't know what to do. I made a lot of money following this guy, and now this one signal just ruined everything. So the reason I'm telling you this story is, now if you know your own technical analysis, if you know, let's say you follow a signal provider, and let's take this example. If you know your technical analysis, if you know how to take entries, if you know the candlestick pattern, if you know what's buying or selling pressure is. So let's say you have a signal provider, he send you a signal to buy at this point. Now, at this point, you see the market give you a clear sell signal, and this sell signal is at the major level of resistance. You have a clear divergence and everything is going perfectly for sell, and this guy just comes and say buy here. So at that point, if you know your analysis, you would say, no, man, I'm not buying. I will instead sell here, as it is a clear sell indication. So that is why it is really important to know what's happening in the market. That is why I do not encourage signal services to follow someone blindly. And in all my analysis, I try to show you guys the entry pattern, the candlestick patterns, the bullish pressure, the bearish pressure, everything I can able to explain you in a single video. So make sure you educate yourself and make sure you do not follow anyone blindly. Even me, if your analysis goes against me, listen to your own self. So that is why in my priority group, I send signals 1 to 3 times a week, just to show you the way we enter the trades, just to show you the entry patterns I am taking, so that if you see the same entry pattern in the other pairs, you can able to take that trades on your own. I'll give you a few examples of that. Now, the priority group is totally free if you join one of my partner brokers. Links are in the description. But if you are unable to join my partner broker, then I have a link in the description from where you can pay a monthly service to join my priority group. So this is a trade I've sent yesterday in my Telegram channel. As you can see, this is a nice trade. Let me show you once I was entering this trade. Hey traders, I've just entered this trade. As you can see, we got this nice entry reason. We got a nice engulfing candle. I will share the results with you over the weekend. Right. So yeah, I have entered this trade. I'm still in this trade and I'm holding it over the weekend. As you can see, we are now around 70 pips in profit. And this is the big trade. As you can see, this trade is 195 pips trade. So this is one trade and I've sent. And as you can see, I've entered this trade with this good entry reason right here from my zone. This is my counter trading zone from where I've entered my trade right here. So this was a trade I've sent in my priority group. This was a pullback entry and that was a losing trade. That's the only one losing trade. I've sent two more trades, but now I want to show you the entry pattern and why I took this trade. We have taken another trade right here. So this is another trade which is still running. As you can see, we got a same entry pattern. I've sent the instruction why I'm entering this trade. So now if you see this type of situation in any other pair, without me telling you, you can enter your trade by your own. If you purely want to learn out of this group, then this group is for you. We can have a losing streak as well. I remember few weeks ago, I've sent three trade alert in priority group. All three of them were a losing trade. So this happens in trading. Not every single trade can be a winning trade. So make sure you have that in your mind. So right here, this was another trade we have taken last week. Not this week, it was last week. Right here. So now what happens is once I see this type of patterns, I send you these trades along with all the instruction, the way I'm entering, what I'm looking, what confluences I'm looking in order to take this trade. So everything you need to know about entering, I send that along with the trade alert. So now what happens is once you see this type of patterns, now with that I send you these zones 5 to 6 pairs every single week, which is weekly forex zones report. Once you see this type of trade alerts, you know when to end your trade. For example, let me show you another pair. Now if you see this type of situation, as you can see, we had a nice double top move with an engulfing candle. You know that that's an entry because you have seen the trade alerts. You know that the market has formed this entry pattern in our trading zone which I send. So with that, you can able to take your trades on your own without me telling you. Yes, I'm here to guide you. You can always send me a message and ask, yes, Umar, if it's a valid trade or not, if it's a valid double top or not. I'm here to help you and everything you need to know about your trading, any question, any confusion. So this is one of the pattern you can see, a nice pattern, a double top pattern, which you receive as a trade alert. And let me show you one more trade. Right here, what do we have? We have a similar situation. We have a nice double top entry pattern, and that pattern happens in our major level of resistance. So with that, you know, whenever you see this type of entry pattern, that doesn't matter if it's a double top, doesn't matter if it's a double bottom. Right here, you get this alerts 1 to 3 times and you see this type of entry patterns and you know when to enter, you know how to enter. So with that, you will learn your entries. So that is what my motive is, that is what my goal is. You guys learn from these alerts rather than just blindly follow these trade alerts. If you are joining priority group just to take these alerts as a signal, then trust me guys, you will get nothing out of these signal because I only send 1 to 3 alerts. With that, I take my personal trades as well, and that 3 alerts could be a losing ones as well. So if you are joining just to take it as a signal, then that's not a good idea. It's purely for educational purposes, purely for you to learn. And with that, you have my support there. With that, you can ask me as many questions as you want to. You can check the entries with me. You can even check the zones with me. If you want me to check any other zones, that is what I can do that in priority group. So with that being said, now let's start our analysis with natural gas, gold, and crude oil. Right here, what do we have? Natural gas has now fallen in the major level of support, and as you can see, this level of support has acted as a good level of support previously. Right here as a resistance, and if you look left, this level has acted as a good level. That is why I was waiting for the market to hit this zone, and once we have a hit of this zone, I want to see a good reason to enter. As you can see on here on Owanda, we have this nice engulfing candle. Looking at that, now I'm expecting a bounce out of this zone as we are now in the major level of support. And as you can see, we have this 25% candle as well, which is a bullish pressure here. Now, what to expect here? So this green zone is my buying area, and let's say if the market pushes down, we can still expect a good bullish engulfing candle out of this zone. This whole zone is my buying zone. So now if the market pushes down dramatically, breaks and close below 5.859, this is when market will likely to continue its trend downward. So at this point, now I'm expecting a good bounce out of this zone. And if you are in the trade, make sure you have your stop loss there to avoid dramatic moves like this, to avoid big moves like this. So if you have your stop loss, your protection there, then it will save you from the events, big events like this. We already have a divergence here. If you see here, we already have market making lower lows right here, and RSI is making lower highs. So in that case, we have, if we have a red candle and then if we have a good green candle, we will have more clear divergence here, which is also a good sign of bullish move. So keep an eye here, make sure you have your stop loss. If it breaks below this zone, then it will be a likely chances that the market will fall back downwards. If we break below, I want to see two red candles. Right here on currency.com, we do not have an engulfing candle, but we do have a 382 candle, a valid 382 candle. As you can see, the body is above the 382 retracement, which is also a bullish pressure. So at this point, after this red candle, if we get a good bullish candle, then in that case we will have a divergence out of the RSI, and then we will have the higher lows and the lower lows here, making this RSI divergence to take over long trades. Now, if we break below this level, then it will be a chance that the market will fall downwards. But I'm expecting a good push, as this is a major level of support. I'm expecting market to push up from here. So keep an eye and have your stop loss there in case we have an events like big impulsive moves like this. Let's check gold. Okay, now as you can see in my previous video, I've said that if we have a good break and close below this previous low, then we have a chances that the market will fall down. As you can see now, we had a push down here. At this point, we can expect a push down to this gray zone, which is 1811. Once I have a push down here, I will enter my long trade. Now at this point, if we have a push up, this is the 50 EMA from where we can expect another bearish candle. With that, we can expect the market to fall back down. So gold is not bullish, it's still bearish. Let's check crude oil. Okay, what do we have now? As you can see, the crude oil is still below our level of resistance. That level was resistance was previously a level of support. So if we have a push up, we can have a push up till 50 EMA 111, from where I'm still expecting a bearish candle. Once we have that, we can take our targets accordingly. Again, I won't be buying crude oil until we hit 99.63, from where I will look for my engulfers or a double bottom entry pattern. So keep an eye here. I will only look for sell opportunities. So that's all for commodity market, guys. I hope you got some value out of analysis. Please do not forget to hit the like button for me, as it helps me in the YouTube algorithm. I hope you all have a nice weekend. I'll see you guys in the next video. Till then, take care.